Even as we speak, the government is watching you. My name is AJ with Most Amazing, and these are the top 10 scary ways the government is tracking your every move. At number 10, your Wi-Fi router is literally a camera. This one is so freaking crazy. Say goodbye to privacy in the modern age, because if you happen to enjoy using wireless internet, then the government now has direct access to peer into your home and watch your every move. No cameras required. The brainiacs at Carnegie Mellon University discovered a way to use Wi-Fi signals to spot shapes and movements of humans just from Wi-Fi waves bouncing around. And they didn't stop there. They used this fancy AI called Dense Pose, created by Facebook and a college in London, to map out where every pixel sits on a person's body. Then they used a super smart network that turns Wi-Fi signals into coordinates onto those bodies. If that doesn't terrify you, it should, because using Wi-Fi signals to see isn't just effective, the tech actually works better than regular cameras. You can be detected easily in poor lighting, behind walls, and it's way better at distinguishing individuals in crowded places. Plus, it's basically free to implement, seeing as all the government would have to do would be to collect the data from your Wi-Fi modems already chilling in your home. This crap is straight out of a George Orwell novel. Enjoy browsing? Well, I hope you also enjoy being stalked too, because apparently those two things come hand in hand now. Number 9 is the Hemesphere Project. So the government and AT&T and most other service providers are in cahoots, collecting an enormous database of phone records. So the idea here is that, you know those burner phones from shows like The Wire that people use to stay hidden? Well, the government's found a way to track those too by analyzing calling patterns. Basically, if you switch out your phone thinking you're all stealthy, but no, the government can still find you by checking on who you're chatting with and how frequently. They've been hoarding call records for the last 26 years, adding a staggering 4 billion new records every single day. And guess what? They're actually paying AT&T to help them sift through all this data. The thing is, this whole thing is happening with barely any oversight. There's a huge amount of secrecy around the Hemesphere Project, as agents are told to keep it on the down low and hide the use of their data, even hide the use of the name of this project from any of their internal files, leaving behind an incredibly thin paper trail. And it's no wonder, because to locate the very tiny number of people who evade law enforcement using burner phones, the AT&T government partnership is sifting through sensitive phone records of vast numbers of people. Now, while this may sometimes be justified, today it's happening without any supervision by a judge. And the government is deliberately concealing the origins of all the information obtained by the program, making it impossible for criminal defendants to know that they were subjected to scrutiny through a program. As a result, defendants have no opportunity to test the legality of these investigative tactics, and just as bad, no court will have the chance to weigh in on the program's validity. If you're somehow enjoying the video so far, please support the channel by pressing like, subscribing to Most Amazing, and ringing that notification bell. Coming in at number 8 is automated vehicle tracking. When you hop into your car, you might think you're off the radar, but here's the thing. The government is still keeping tabs on you, and it's not as sneaky as you might hope. You know those cameras on police cars or perched up on light poles? They're called automated license plate readers, and they're like snoops with a knack for remembering license plates. They snap pics of your car and jot down your plate number as you go about your day, which sounds pretty innocent, but these gadgets quietly build a log of where you've been, from work to home, your hangouts, you name it. Some folks even use them to keep an eye on specific communities. But it gets worse. Some agencies haven't exactly locked down or encrypted these ALPR feeds, meaning that pretty much anybody could peek at where you've been without even needing so much as a password. Your whereabouts out in the open for anybody to see. Oh, and have you ever had to pay to use a toll road? Even they're in on the tracking game. Electronic tolls linked to your car's RFID or license plate numbers means they're not just there for the toll fare, they're also keeping tabs on where you've been. Now, if you think that you're safe from being tracked because you use public transit instead of a car, don't be a fool. Like, come on, you don't think the government already thought of that? Let's delve deeper into that with number 7, transportation monitoring. So you might not realize it, but the way we use public transportation could be spilling more info about us than we think. Like, you know those electronic tickets and travel cards? As it turns out, they're not just for getting on the bus or subway. Now, the Privacy International group found that these travel cards, like the ones that we use for subways or buses such as Presto here in Canada or New York's Metro card, hold a bunch of our details. Stuff like where we've been, our names and private information, even our banking details if we used a credit card or debit card to purchase those cards. What's even more concerning is that the police can peek into this info without even needing a warrant. They don't even have to suspect you of a crime. Basically, if they feel like it, they can tap in and learn about you. For example, the Oyster card in London holds a ton of personal information, and the agency behind it keeps that data for 2 years after the last time you used the card. So because these cards are used to access even your banking info, let alone where you're traveling to, it's recommended that you only use public transit with a prepaid card bought with cash. Now that's a lot, but that way you can at least travel knowing that you aren't leaving behind a trail. At number 6, social media monitoring. Ever posted about your plans on social media, like, I don't know, RSVPing to a Halloween bash or sharing your costume on Instagram? Well, heads up, because it's not just your pals checking in on your post. It's the cops too. And it's not even just the big name agencies like the NSA or FBI snooping around your Facebook. Even local law enforcement teams are all over social media, and they're not just waiting around for suspicious behavior. They're fishing for info, tracking your whereabouts, and noting who you hang out with. Like, remember those BLM protests? Well, law enforcement actually kept tabs on activists through social media to get the jump on protests as they happened. And don't even bank on setting things to private either, because cops have sneaky ways to getting access, like making fake accounts or pressuring your pals into giving login details. In one case, the DEA had to actually cough up $134,000 after getting sued for using somebody else's identity on a Facebook profile. Yeah, even the DEA is committing identity fraud, so just be mindful of what you share online, because it might not just be your homies scrolling through your posts. At number 5 are the IMSI Catchers. Planning on doing something crazy today, like, oh, I don't know, using your cell phone? Well, the police don't even need a special agreement with your service provider to know where you are. No, dear viewers, this can be achieved rather easily with a little something called an IMSI Catcher. These international mobile subscriber identity catchers, commonly known in the field as stingrays, are sneaky little devices that pretend to be regular cell phone towers, and so when your phone connects to them, they spill the beans on your location. And get this, it's not just about pinpointing a person. These catchers snag signals from loads of folks nearby, which kind of feels like they're putting out a huge fishing net to scoop on more than just one fish. Now, there has been some pushback with the use of these devices, as some laws have cropped up to make it tougher for the feds to use IMSI catchers without a warrant. But not every state's on board with these restrictions, so depending on where you live, even if the feds can't use stingrays, it's still fair game for local law enforcement. It's like a high-tech game of hide and seek, and these catchers are the ultimate seekers. Unless laws keep up with the tech, that is, fingers crossed. At number 4 are your biometrics. Facial recognition on Facebook isn't just about tagging your friends anymore. It's about the way your face is being scanned, recognized, and stored for future reference. Well, let's just zoom out for a moment. Biometrics isn't just your face. It's the science of identifying people based on literally anything about them. So even if you are hiding your face, guess what? Your unique voice, your walking style, the size of your hands, even the way you type on a keyboard can give you away. Got any scars or tattoos? Well, it's privacy game over for you, as those identifiable features make identifying you even easier. And it's not just Facebook or social media giants going all in on biometrics either. It's used by the government too. Surveillance camera and technologies everywhere are becoming way too good at identifying you, even just from the back of your head. Privacy isn't just about covering your face anymore. Everything you do or how you behave might be a giveaway. At number 3, the terms of service. Don't skip this one, guys, it's important. Now, government tracking isn't just about what you do on social media. See, your phone is a gold mine for your personal info. Those apps you download, they ask for access to your pics, your voice recorder, but have you ever stopped to wonder why? You see, they're after more than just your selfies. They peek at the backgrounds of your photos, tracking where you've been, and the microphone isn't just for calls. They eavesdrop, hoping to catch what you're chatting about so that they can push products on you. Every search, every click, it's all recorded. And those free apps, well, it's true what they say about nothing being free. You're actually paying these apps with your data. Even Waze, yeah, the map app, they're in on it too. When it says free, your info is the price, as companies can turn around and sell it off, or as we've seen here, casually hand it over to the authorities. At number 2, the lone wolf provision. You know, it's kind of spooky how the government can snoop around your personal stuff, even if you're not a suspect in anything fishy. Take the Patriot Act's lone wolf provision, for instance. It lets the government dig into the lives of individuals thinking they might be a threat without needing any proof that they're a part of a bigger terror group. That means they're keeping tabs tabs on folks who might not even be connected to anything shady to begin with. Then there's Section 215 of that same act. It gives the FBI the green light to ask for almost any records, that being bank statements, medical records, library stuff, you name it, without having to prove that you did anything. They can just throw out a request and boom, they get to peek into your personal life. Imagine somebody flipping through your private info just because they have a hunch, even if you didn't do anything wrong. At number 1, televisions. Oh my god, they even turn TVs into telescreens. It's worse than I thought. The TV on your wall isn't just for entertainment. It's a silent witness to your habits. Ever notice how TVs are getting cheaper? This is because TVs have entered the realm of spying, tracking your habits like apps on your phone. You see, Americans spend hours glued to TV screens, and that data is gold. Your TV knows what you watch, and all that info is sold like a commodity. TV companies sell your watching habits to brokers, who then sell it to advertisers. This tech allows ads to follow you from TV to phone to store. When setting up a TV, we usually tap OK without realizing the data it collects. Apparently, you can tweak settings later, but all that's hidden in odd menus. Your TV knows more than you think, you guys. Okay, I'm definitely gonna need a tinfoil hat after that one. So, as always, if there's a way that the government is spying on you that you think I've missed, let me know down in the comments, and I'll include your suggestions in the next iteration of this list. This has been AJ with Most Amazing, and I'll catch you all in another video. Later.